Welcome to the My Inner Tiger podcast. I'm your host, Sydney D. Camella. I'm also a wife, mother, master life coach, course creator, and spiritual Sherpa. Over the past few years, I have overcome extreme anxiety, depression, addiction, infertility, and chronic illness. And as a result, I've made it my life's mission to teach other women like you that no matter what battle you're up against, you have an inner tiger, a power within to create and manifest whatever your heart desires. If you are tired of being a victim and ready to be boss of your life, you have come to the right place. Each episode, I'm going to share tools, teachings, and techniques I have used and taught countless other women so that together we can create a life beyond our wildest dreams. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that your inner tiger is just waiting to be unleashed. I'm so happy you've tuned in. Let's get started. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the My Inner Tiger podcast. Today is episode 2 of the holiday hacks series that I'm doing. If you haven't listened to last week's, make sure you make it a priority to go listen to that because it's really good. It's part 1, which talks about prioritizing your health and why that's really important. You know, we go through this holiday season, we have such anticipation for all the joy and the celebration, and then it's just so easy to make decisions that do not benefit us mentally and physically. So making your health your number one priority every morning when you wake up and making a commitment to yourself to do that will just set you up to win and minimize your risk of making decisions that you're going to regret later. So go back and listen to that. It's awesome. And you know what? These hacks they apply to our everyday lives. This is not just something you need to do at Christmas time. These are really good pointers that are extra helpful to know during Christmas. And it's stuff that you probably, it's not rocket science over here. These are things that are pretty common sense, but unless they're brought to the forefront of our brain, we're probably not going to really think to do them. So that's why I'm talking about them in this podcast. I want us all to really enjoy our holiday season as much as possible. So today's episode is going to be about family and touching on family and boundaries. So I have some really good tips to make the most out of your experience with your family during this season, because we all, if we're honest with ourselves, we all know that family can be some of our biggest triggers, and it's real easy for things to go south quickly when it comes to gathering together for this time of year. So let's talk about some of the tips that I have for making the most out of that wonderful family experience. So number 1, we're all most likely either going to travel or have guests come and stay with us, even if they're not from out of town. We're going to be getting together for functions and dinners and present opening and partying and all of that. So at some point, you're most likely, not everyone, but most likely we're all going to be around our family. Even if it's not just extended family, it's immediate family, because listen, the kids are out of school, we're off of work, we're going to be in tight quarters, right? And that can get really tricky. So to make sure that you get the most out of your time together, I'm going to highly recommend tip number 1, and that's scheduling some kind of downtime for yourself. Now, this is going to go hand in hand with prioritizing your health that I talked about last week. In the morning is the best time to really give yourself that dedication to yourself. Okay, so that time where you set yourself up for the day, you do some kind of exercise to help your mental health, to get you still and calm and in the right mindset, and then also some kind of physical activity to just get your lymph flow in right, your energy in the right place, raise your state, and all of that stuff. So yes, those things matter, but also downtime can be really important, like in the middle of the day. So let's pretend you're traveling to see family and you're staying at mom's house or grandma's house or your aunt's house or your cousin's house or wherever. And it's a lot of people. And there's a lot of us that need that we have parts of us that are very introverted and we need that downtime. So make sure that you're taking time, whether it's the middle of the day, maybe while the kids are sleeping, or at some point to just have time for yourself, whether that's meditating, whether that's reading a book, whether it's taking a nap. Just give yourself some kind of downtime. Don't plan the whole day to where you're just like, then you're all up in each other's hair and stresses are high and cortisol can get high real quick, and you just want to make sure that you're giving yourself that space. We all need it. All of us humans need it. There's no one who doesn't need it, okay? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, and this is kind of goes without saying, but I want to remind everyone, when you're in these situations, these gatherings, always a good rule of thumb not to talk about politics or religion, okay? Now, if you're in a family where everyone feels exactly the same way and you're exactly on the same exact page about all these things and you know that you are, then by all means, have at it, right? But 9 times out of 10, that is not the case. Not everyone thinks the same way as you do, even though you're family. And even you never really know. If you're around some distant cousins that you don't see very often, don't just assume that they think the same way you do. So as a rule of thumb, don't bring up politics and religion in conversation. It's just not going to go well, because everyone has their own opinion and most people are very, very, very stuck in their ways in that area. Now, if this is a conversation you want to have another time, maybe on the phone or just another time in life, go for it, but not during the holiday season, not when everything's supposed to be filled with joy and love and laughter. Just don't taint it with those conversations. And listen, I'm very opinionated in my beliefs. My whole family is, no matter what way they think. And there's always that aunt that's like, you got your real liberal aunt or your real conservative husband, uncle or cousin or something. There's always someone in your family who thinks different than you. And it's no matter what you say about your beliefs, it's going to push their buttons and make things uncomfortable. So just as hard as it can be, and as much as you feel like you are right, I mean, come on, look at the climate of our society today. It's so divided. Let's make Christmas time, this holiday season, a time to actually come together and find all of the things we have in common, and just let go of all those things that we do not have in common. This is the time to do that. This is the time to see the joy in everything and make memories, because those are the things that last forever, okay? So just don't do it. And if you get a couple drinks in you and you start to feel it coming on, just give that little, that little person in your head, just that little secretary, make sure that secretary is watching, what am I trying to say? Standing guard on your mouth so that it just doesn't happen. Tip number 3, if things happen to get heated in some kind of conversation, so let's say someone else brings up politics and religion and it's, getting you heated, then just casually make the comment, I respect what you're saying, and change the subject, or any easy way you want to segue into something different. Just don't participate in the conversation. Just don't do it. Walk away and just don't let it get you worked up, okay? And if you need to just go stand in the bathroom and do some breathing or something to just calm your nervous system, then by all means do that. Again, this really piggybacks on tip number 2. Just don't let it get to you, okay? And then if you need to start thinking about, if they've really pushed your buttons, then start to think about the things you love about them, the things that they're really good at. Just, don't let it get under your skin. Just make a determined effort to really enjoy your time with your friends and family, okay? So those are my 3 tips. And the other thing I want to add to this is something I talk about in my Break Free from Stress and Anxiety course, which I'll put a link to more information on that in the show notes. But when it comes to boundaries with friends and family, we all have a tendency to want to talk about things that sometimes aren't always that appropriate to talk about with our friends and family. And I like to think about this in like a bucket system, okay? So you've got two, if you think of your life as like you've got two buckets. You got your friends and family, and you have your tribe, okay? So really think about, before you go interact with the people that you're going to be with, do they fall into your friends and family bucket? Most likely. Or do they fall into your tribe bucket? Now your tribe, those are the people that you spend, day in, day out talking to, or, it doesn't have to be day in, day out, but those are the people who are like on the same page. They're leveling up in life with you. You most likely have the same religious and political beliefs, but you have, they're there to push you and help you grow in life, okay? These are the people we all expand together with. We lock arms with, and we call when really good things happen, or, we call out when we see them falling off track. That's our tribe, okay? When you take everyone else, basically, you got your friends and your family, those are your other bucket. Those people, your only job with them is to love them. That's it. There's no need to fix them. There's no need to help them level up in life. Not at all. You're just there to absolutely love them and hold space for them. And at some point in life, if they want to come and, tag along, and they see how great and beautiful you are, shining your light and, really coming into a place where you love yourself and you're growing and you're expanding, and they see that light and they want to know more about that, then they'll ask you. But don't go offering it to them if they don't want it, right? We have a tendency to go to events, for example. Let's say you go to some big event or some big church conference or something where you're just lit on fire and you're like, oh my God, listen to what I learned. This is great. This has really impacted my life. And you come home and you try to share that with your friends and family, and they're just not on the same page as you. And they're like, they don't have the ears to hear it. They're not ever going to be anywhere near as excited as you are about everything you just learned and experienced. So just remember, your only job is to hold space for them and to love them. So keep that in mind when you're spending time with friends and family this year, friends at parties, or, just social gatherings that aren't part of your tribe. And you know who your tribe is. Watch how the conversation goes. Don't throw your opinion in too much. Just be there to have good conversation, laugh, and love on them. And that's all it is. That's your only job. Okay, so I hope that this helps you guys. I really want us all to have this beautiful, beautiful holiday season. Last year, a lot of people didn't get together. And so this year, a lot of people are finally doing it because of the virus. Everyone's slowly migrating back together, if you will. So make the most of it. And I want you to just really enjoy your friends and family this holiday season. I love you guys, and happy holidays. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you made it to the end of this podcast, there's a really good chance you are on a mission to heal your mind and your body. Did you know that healing your body truly starts with healing your emotions? So I am living proof of this, because as a result of doing some really deep work on my trauma, my mindset, my thought patterns, diet, relationships, energy, and so much more, I was able to get completely off of dialysis and cancel a kidney transplant. Now, I know I've said this a million times, but I am telling you, I no longer suffer with overwhelming stress and anxiety on a regular basis, and it used to plague me. The work I've done has created a complete 180 in my life. And so who would I be if I didn't share this with others, and how I was able to make such dramatic shifts for myself? That's why I put together the Break Free from Stress and Anxiety course, which takes you through the step-by-step process I use to come to a place where I can confidently say I'm fulfilled and genuinely enjoying my life. Now, if you're curious and want to dive deeper into what this course actually has to offer, I put the link in the show notes. Or you can go to my website, myinnertiger.com, and click on the Break Free link in the top right-hand corner. Now, if this episode really spoke to you today, please leave me a review and tag me on social media at myinnertiger so others can share in this awesome experience too. Okay, my friend, go out into this world and take one more step toward manifesting your dreams, because you are so worth it. I will see you on the next episode.